Collins, Dockery,
Present.
Yossi,
Present.
now for quorum, Your Honor.
All right. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Blackwell, second by Yossi to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Number 4, a proclamation for Junior Achievement Day. Whereas the city of Eldridge will observe Junior Achievement Day on the first Thursday in April as an opportunity to recognize and celebrate junior achievement of the Heartland for empowering our young people to their own economic success. Whereas junior achievement of the Heartland's education contribution equips our young people to become the next generation of productive employees and self-sufficient citizens to ensure that the economic prosperity of the city of Eldridge. Whereas it is fitting for parents, educators, businesses, and other members of the community to join in Junior Achievement's efforts to ensure that the future success of economic health of our young people and the communities in which they live. Now, therefore, I, Frank King, Mayor of Eldridge, do hereby proclaim official recognition of April 3rd, 2025, and every first Thursday of April hereafter as Junior Achievement Day in the city of Eldridge. Hi, Brittany.
Hello.
I'd like to give this to you. I'm gonna come over there.
I get your picture taken.
I'm surprised you didn't have it on
Go
big.
right up here.
Oh, sure.
Take a picture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You're
Thanks for
welcome.
having us and
You're
thanks
welcome.
for all of your support. And just a quick plug, March 26th, if you are a Jersey Mike's fan, they donate 100% of their sales. All of the Quad City stores are supporting Junior Achievement of the Heartland. So we'll get a sub, get lunch, and
All right.
proceeds
Good
come
to
to
know.
us. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Number 5, public comment. Is there anybody in the crowd who would like to address the council on anything right now? If it is, now is your time to do so.
Dale Grunwald, Longer, Iowa. I would just like to make a comment. We need to get Lincoln Road something done before somebody gets hurt. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale. Is there anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to number 6. 6A, consideration to approve the regular city council minutes from the March 3rd meeting, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Campbell and second by Dockery to approve the regular city council minutes from March 3rd, 2025. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay? The ayes have it. 6B, consideration to approve the committee of the whole minutes from March 3rd, 2025.
So moved.
So here's second. Motion by Yossi, second by Campbell to approve the committee of whole minutes from March 3rd, 2025. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay? The ayes have it. 6C, consideration to approve the bills payable. Does anybody have any questions tonight on the bills?
Find it hard to believe, but I have no questions.
I'm good. I'm in shock with Scott. With that being said, I hear a motion to approve them.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dockery and second by Campbell to approve the bills payable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay? The ayes have it. Number 6D here, it's for approving bid board and committee reappointments. I'll break this down into 2 sections. On 6D, number 1 and number 2, it's Carl Donabauer and Paul Hengis, the Board of Adjustment. for a new term expiring on March 19, 2030 for Carl and for 2025 for Paul. I've called them both and they're both were, Jeff, that's not right for Paul.
Should they both be?
They both should be 30,
It
shouldn't
should
they?
both, it should be 30, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay. I'll say,
Otherwise, he's
yeah.
already done.
He is done, right. So with that change there, both of those, I've talked to them both, they both were more than willing to, be reappointed to the Board of Adjustment. Then number 3 through 8, Nathan Kessler, Mitch Cunningham, Patrick Reed, Lacey Dinglow, Steve Fahrenkrug, and Joe Setting were all, people on the Economic Development Committee, and their, new term will expire on April 4, 2028. These are all the existing members, except for one. I had called, Tabitha Kramer from the,
Chamber.
I can't think tonight, from the chamber. And at this point in time, she did not want to be back on there, so we officially will have an opening on the Economic Development Committee, that Jeff was gonna advertise for.
I did, post it on the website when I found out that she didn't want to renew, so has been posted for about a week.
Okay. So that being said, for these reappointments, I'm looking for a motion to approve these 8 individuals.
Your Honor, I'm in favor of all your recommendations, but under number 8, should we put our current superintendent of schools? I mean, by 2028, I can only imagine he might be retired by then.
I think we'd have to name a new appointment.
I think he said he had 3 years left. 2?
Yeah, so, or we can leave it like this, and then when he retires, just appoint somebody else.
Yeah, I think for now, we'll leave his name as is, because he is the superintendent, and then if he does happen to retire and they hire a new one, then we'll bring that in front of the council.
I'll make a motion to approve numbers 1 through 8 then.
Seconded.
Motion by Yossi, second by Blackwell. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 7A, consideration of the third and final reading of ordinance 2025-7, updating the city sanitary sewer rates. Nevada?
This is the third and final reading. We haven't had any call-ins or any comments, no questions. And this is for a 0% increase, just updating because the term of the last ordinance expired. It's annual.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-07 as presented.
Second.
Motion by Dockery, second by Campbell, to approve the third and final reading of ordinance 2025-7. Roll call?
Yossi,
Aye.
Dockery,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Blackwell,
Aye.
motion carries, Your Honor.
Thank you, Letty. 7B, consideration of the second reading of ordinance 2025-5 for shared use path. Jeff, is there anything on that?
No, Your Honor, we haven't had any comments on this.
Thank you, Jeff. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Yossi, second by Dockery for the second reading of ordinance 2025-5. Roll call?
Campbell,
Aye.
Blackwell,
Aye.
Dockery,
Aye.
Yossi.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Thank you. 7C, consideration of the second reading of ordinance 2025-8, updating deduct meter policy. Jeff?
Thanks, Your Honor, we have received no comments on, this ordinance either.
All right, look for a motion.
So moved.
Go ahead, Brian.
This is one I wasn't sure on last time we read it. So they're gonna have a totally separate meter for the stuff they're using in their process.
Correct.
So we're just going to not bill for that second meter on the sewer rate.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay,
Second.
all right. Motion by Blackwell, second by Campbell. Roll call?
Yossi,
Aye.
Dockery,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Blackwell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. On to number 8A, consideration of the first reading of ordinance 2025-9, amending section 8, chapter 2, title C of the Eldridge City Code to require 5-foot public sidewalks in all new developments. Jeff, can I call on you?
Thanks, Your Honor. I've had some conversations with some of you in passing about this. We've obviously had a lot of talks about sidewalks in committee of the whole and council meetings. And this came up through talking to contractors that are working in Davenport, Bettendorf, and then city staff and city engineer conversations. Davenport and Bettendorf have for a while now required 5-foot sidewalks. Mr. Grunwald is voluntarily putting in 5-foot sidewalks in his Grunwald Grove developments. We would like to make it official and just require 5-foot sidewalks. We'd be consistent with Davenport and Bettendorf then, and we'd be providing a wider area for pedestrians, strollers, bikes, and all those crazy motorized scooters to use the sidewalks with. The existing blocks will be able to construct and reconstruct the previous 4-foot widths and setbacks, but new developments would be required to construct 5-foot wide sidewalks going forward. The building official would be able to provide guidance in the transition between the old and the new areas. I think the next development that's coming up, this would probably affect would be Townsend 16th. But anything that's being newly constructed now that's already been passed or platted would be able to continue the way that they are. I also found a couple of weird things in the ordinance that is attached to this in one place that is noted in your packet that I'd like to take this opportunity to correct. In one place where it's talking about the sidewalk width, at the end of that, it's talking about driveway approaches and then that the delineated sidewalk width through those had to be 4 feet. We're changing that to 5. At the end of that, it said, all existing driveways with a rock surface shall have PCC concrete approaches constructed no later than December 31st, 2002. That was never done and enforced. I can show you numerous dozens of existences of this all over town where these still exist. I think if we're not gonna enforce that, obviously we did not, that should be removed from the code. Along with the next line then that says all existing driveways and parking areas located between the property line and the building setback line, which do not currently meet the all-weather surface requirement, shall be brought into compliance no later than December 31st, 2009. Again, this was never done or enforced. There's no reason to have that in city code. City code says you have to do this. So we've been treating it as, up until this point, people that hadn't done it are grandfathered in. So either we allow that or we don't, but either way, this is not necessarily language that you can code at this point, so I recommend removal.
Thank you, Jeff.
So by removing that, will people that do construction be able to have a rock parking lot, dust parking lot in front of their building?
No, city code already requires that they can. This was just saying that people that were grandfathered in needed to update it by these dates and no one enforced it.
Only the guy living on Railroad Street that has that.
There's several.
My driveway is all cement.
There is several on Price Street though. Yeah, like I said, we can drive around town. I can show you over a dozen of them.
Yep.
So by,
baby strollers in Price Street too, side by side, because there is no sidewalk.
Correct.
It's very dangerous.
If this is your recommendation, Jeff, I'll support it.
I will too.
I will. Yeah, definitely.
I make a motion that we consider this the first reading of ordinance 2025-09.
Second.
And with the amendment that Jeff's recommending as well.
Absolutely, yep.
So motion by Campbell, second by Blackwell to approve the first reading of ordinance 2025-09, amending section 8, chapter 2, title C of the Elder City Code to require 5-foot public sidewalks in new developments, and with the amendment that Jeff just went over about existing gravel approaches. Roll call?
Dockery,
Aye.
Yossi,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Blackwell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thanks, Letty.
Jeff, I'm assuming you're gonna update the typical drawing.
Yes, sir. Those have been updated by Shive, and those are included in the packet, and they'll be updated online as well.
I thought the one I saw in the packet still had it at 4 feet
Um,
on the
Then-
left side.
then we'll need to discuss that.
Moving on to 8B, consideration to approve a resident request to donate a memorial bench and plaque and to authorize the donated bench to be replaced an existing bench located on LeClaire Road in front of the city maintenance shop. I was approached by a citizen several months ago about this for her husband that passed away. And I'm glad it finally made it in front of the council now. Nevada or Jeff, would you wanna talk about this a little bit?
So typically when we have bench and plaque donations, the park usually handles those and they go in an area that's available in the parks. We currently don't have an area for donated benches available. But the park would then purchase the bench and the plaque, and then the donation would come in and essentially reimburse. So with the one that is currently existing in front of the city shop along LeClaire Road, it is in disrepair and needs to be replaced. So looking to use this as an opportunity to allow for that donated bench and plaque to be there, and the city would act then as the pass-through account since it's on city property and not in a park. And then pay for that bench, which they run anywhere from $842 to about $927 plus $300 in shipping and handling. The plaques are typically around $279. We would purchase that, and then the donation would go back into the reimbursement for that fund, which would be out of the general fund.
Is there already a concrete pad there for the current bench that it'd be mounted to?
I believe it's mounted on a concrete
Yeah, they'll
pad
just simply
currently.
unbolt the existing one that's wore out and bolt this new one in its place, same dimensions.
Is the one that's currently there memorializing anyone?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Yossi, second by Campbell to approve the replacement of the bench in front of the city shop as a memorial bench with a plaque. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. Thank you, gentlemen. 8C, consideration to approve a quote from Precision Concepts in amount of $3,082.37 to install a reflective mirror and retention film on City Hall windows. Nevada, am I calling you this or Jeff?
Sure. So when we had our security training with the police department here at the community center about our active shooter situational things, it was recommended in that meeting that we add some type of security to the windows at City Hall. This would have a reflective coating that people couldn't see in, so they couldn't throw things through the window at us, shoot us through the windows, drive through the windows and hit us. Honestly, I haven't opened my curtain for over a year, because, you know, I send out enforcement notices all day long and I don't wanna get, you know, shot in the back. So,
So you move your desk around.
yeah. No, but seriously, if you went to this training, you would have some of these same thoughts. But this would be a reflective coating. On the windows, on certain windows, it would have shatter resistant. The film would be shatter resistant, so if they threw something through it, it wouldn't shatter onto a person on the other side. They're not all like that. They strategically picked and chose which ones they wanted to do that with to keep the cost down. But there's two quotes in the packet. One came in at $5,022. And the business that's currently doing, our, cameras, came in, quite a bit less at, $3,082, for the same materials. So we're recommending the $3,082.37 quote for that.
Were there any necessary upgrades to the exterior lighting that are gonna be necessary for this to work best?
No, nothing was recommended. I think it's more of a, I don't know if it's mirrored exactly, but just something so you.
Well, one of the things, how that, you have to have light on the outside brighter than what's on the inside.
Oh,
And so
gotcha.
that's the reason I ask if the lighting at, at night is sufficient outside, or if we needed to move over to LED, or I don't know what's currently there, but it might be something that we have to look at doing once it's installed.
Yeah, there is LED lighting outside, but, neither one of, the businesses given the quotes brought up any upgrades that we would need, so hopefully we don't.
I was confused by their quote. Quantity, 198.61, the rate, $10. So are those lines inverted?
That's, 198.64 is the square foot.
At a rate of $10 per square foot.
I believe so. I think that's correct.
Precision.
Precision has it broken down into the window sizes. The Shatter Guard has it broke down by the square foot.
But Precision, I think the things are backwards. You got probably 10 windows and it's gonna be $198 a window.
I believe you're right. Well,
This is also both for all around police and city hall, so.
Even the windows on the back.
I'm guessing,
The whole building.
Yeah, but those aren't.
Brian, I'm guessing the quantity that Precision is showing is the square feet, just like, because it's 198.61 versus 198.64. So on his quantity, he just didn't put square feet in there.
Well, it doesn't matter, it's just tough to read. The bottom number is about $3,000.
Yeah, and they both did it a little bit differently. The rate is $10 a square foot though, 'cause that's his rate. The other guy did it slightly differently, but.
They both got final numbers, so I'm happy with it.
I make a motion, we approve the quote from Precision Concepts.
Is there a second? Or do you have a
Just,
comment?
just very, very quick. So I discussed prior, just to distinguish the city hall from the police station, since we're going to be there obviously quite some time before a new one is built, about getting a drug-rated window for the police station that had the star and badge on it, and or the blue, black, and white flag. Can this be incorporated in this? Can we look at what that might look like? Why are they doing this? So individuals know precisely where the police station is, so they're not fumbling over the city hall, especially after hours.
Definitely ask. I don't know if we asked when they did the quotes, but we can definitely ask and get an answer back to you on
You
that.
could do a vinyl overlay over top of the tent.
I second the motion.
Yeah,
Yes, they want money, right?
okay. So do you wanna have that amendment on there to look into that, or just approve the tip with the, protection coating right now?
We'd have time to come back and get
Yeah.
an approval on the additional amount if we needed to.
Yeah, I would think it would be an additional,
Okay.
like Brian said, probably a vinyl overlay, that's, in conjunction with this, but I don't think it would affect these costs, I would guess.
No, but I meant-
we'll find out.
Stick with this cost for this, but everybody consensus to then to check on getting a different, to be able to tell the difference between the police department, city hall.
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll bring it back.
Thank you.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay. The ayes have it. 8D, consideration of resolution 2025-9, approving the fiscal year 25 budgeted interfund transfers. Nevada?
Thank you, Mayor. These are just our annual interfund transfers that are passed in the budget. So these are for last year's, the fiscal year 25 budget that we're currently in. If you have any questions about what any of those interfund transfers are for, let me know. Otherwise, they're the ones that are listed in your budget.
Brian?
No questions.
All right, if there's no discussion, I'd like to make a motion for approval.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion by Blackwell, second by Campbell, to approve resolution 2025-9, approving the fiscal year 25 budgeted interfund transfers. Roll call?
Blackwell,
Aye.
Yossi,
Aye.
Zachary,
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you, Letty. Number 9, board and staff activity reports. Nevada, start with you.
Thank you, Mayor. Jeff and I will be at a conference from Wednesday afternoon to Friday afternoon in Iowa City for the Iowa Municipal Management Institute Summer Conference. We got our Cat Plant Warehouse Storage lease renewal for this upcoming fiscal year. It increased $441 for the year from $1,992 a month to $2,029 a month. We also got our general insurance renewal property quotes back. It was essentially the same. Last year, the quote was at $335,804 for the year. This year, the quote came in at $334,592, but still looking at our work comp and general liability are going to increase respectively the same amount as our cost of living percentage increase for the year based on wages, and an additional $3 million in cyber liability coverage for the year. The Grow Quad Cities Board met for the first time on March 12th. That is what was formerly the Business and Economic Growth Service Agreement that we have at the Quad City Chamber. It is now Grow Quad Cities with a board of directors. So I'll serve on that board as the board member for the Iowa Small Communities. And so we'll be able to work with the chamber for our business and economic growth services through this model to be able to determine how that budget will be spent, what services will be provided to us, and how those services will be provided, along with board members from the private sector and the other public sector members that are part of that agreement. I'll be giving all of you a biography form for our website. Our new website rollout is in the works right now. We're going to be putting new headshots of all of our elected officials and our department heads, and also just some very general biographical information and your contact information for residents to be able to reach you. So I will provide that form to you if you can just fill that out and return it to me as soon as possible. And I think that's all I've got.
Thanks, Nevada. Jeff, I'm calling you next, please. Or, it's Brian.
Update on the basketball game?
They lost in the championship, so second, lost by 2.
Congratulations for going that far.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. I've worked with the Park Board and the Public Works to submit grant applications for a restroom in Crandall Park. We submitted applications to both the RDA and the SCRA for those for the spring cycle, and so we should know sometime in May whether we're successful or not in securing those funds.
Thank you, Jeff. Letty, I'm calling you next.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe I only have one, the process for hiring a utility billing clerk. We've been actively reviewing, and we hope to have some type of a decision here in the next few weeks. If you recall, that's the position that Sadie Wagner had, and as after she had been promoted to city utility administrative manager, that position is what we've had open. So I'll keep everyone updated on that.
Thank you, Letty. Chief Lilly, I'm calling you for any update you have.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Just two things. The hiring process is coming to a close. We finished testing for non-certified applicants on March 8th, and those interviews were completed last Friday. We have 4 top candidates that we're looking at. 2 are non-certified and 2 are previously certified through the state of Iowa. So we're going to start narrowing that down hopefully by the end of the week. The other thing is DARE graduation is going to be this Friday at 9 a.m. at Ed White. So I invite any council member or mayor yourself, if you'd like to give a quick speech or words of encouragement, you're all welcome to attend. It's great to have that program back in the community. We're proud of it. It's been a great year for the DARE program. That's going to be followed by a skating party here and pizza party from the PD to celebrate their accomplishment. So we're looking forward to that. Otherwise, I have nothing else, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Chief. Does anybody have any other? Yes, Brian?
This Friday.
I'm just talking about closed session.
Yeah, okay.
Your Honor, I just had 2 things I wanted to bring up. Nevada was that going to be at the next meeting to discuss the South 5th Street?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And then the other thing I just wanted to point out, reading Tony Roop's activity report, one thing that's important for the citizens to know is that the bollards will be put on the new Townsend Farm trails due to multiple passenger vehicles accidentally pulling on them. So that's a good win. I know there was some citizens and young kids that had a deep concern appropriately. So I think that's something worth mentioning.
And I believe they're installed already. If you drive over there, that's the yellow post that you see in the middle of the path. All right, well, that concludes the regular part of our regular council meeting. We will be going into closed session here in just a minute. Thank you for coming.